Hello everyone, welcome to video number 13, Bone Crusher here. Today I'm gonna introduce you my live session from last night. Very interesting session, and I'm gonna show you what's happened and what was my bets and what makes interesting. I was joined the table. It was 14 feet long, hard surface. Just a half of the table was open. 4 guys on the table. I was the 5th one. I took my favorite place in a hook next to the one of the dealers. Stickman was across of me. I will start recording rolls. This is not important here. I don't want to waste my time explaining to you. This was the 8 was the very first roll, which was 24th roll. So before that I was recording, then this was supposed to be 23rd. And during this the table was qualified for a late bet on the 10, and I lost it. So I was $200 left in a hole, and I was watching very careful the turn of the table to see what's going on, and I was follow the table very careful. So 8 was the new point, and 9 was rolled. At that time 8 was confirmed red number, and after the 9 was rolled, 8 become confirmed red number with 1 line. And after the 9, the 4 was rolled, and of course you guessing I was laying the 8, and 7 was rolled and was winning this $120 on the 8. And I made $100 over here. Of course, the next roll, the point didn't make it, so I placed the place bet on the 8 for 1 roll, and the new point was 9. 4 become the enemy number here, red number, and when I see this, okay, I didn't hit the 8, which was point didn't make it. I moved my bet to 9 as a place bet, and I didn't hit that. And then because the 6 was rolled, and then I said, oh, okay, 6 is an enemy number with no bullets. Why don't you take the 9 down and move it to the late 6? I was hoping to get this one. And 2 was rolled, nothing happened, and then 7. Of course I win the late bet on the 6 for $100. So over here I was breaking even. 7. So the new shooter throws 7 on a come out roll, and then I was thinking hey, back to back 7, let's place the 9, which was the point didn't make it. So by the way, here I didn't place any bet. I think what was happened with me at that time is I was revised the rolls. There was no rule followed. It was a confusion. Even myself, as I was asked myself, what the heck, man? There is nothing connected between it, and I was hesitating to place a bet. And after the 9, after the 7, I said, wow, that's a good thing. I saved some money, not placing a bet, but I placed it over here, and the new point was 8. Okay, well, 8, was with the, so let me mark the 6 as a red number, confirm, and 8 was rolled, I said, oh, okay, so I lost the opportunity, you know, for the point didn't make it, and I moved to the 8 as a lay bet because of the, you know, the red number with one line, and 6 has been rolled. So, okay, well, in this situation, I said, well, I'm gonna move the lay bet from 8 to 6 because I was thinking, you know, it's much safer, and you know, that way 8 has been rolled, and you know, okay, confusion. So, and the 6 has been rolled, and I lost this bet, $120. So at this point, I said, well, I don't know. I lost this bet, you know, I don't know what's happened, you know, I'm just trying to revise all the numbers, you know, doesn't make too much sense. 6, you know, 8 was getting another line, 6 was getting 2 lines over here because 5 has been rolled after. And, you know, I was thinking, oh, okay, well, maybe it's qualified to place a bet. I was, you know, looking over here, you know, this is the third 7, but, you know, 6 back to back, you know, sister to the point, it might be a good bet, you know, because, you know, also 8 has been rolled few times, you know, before, but was followed by 7. I said, well, maybe we'll clear, and I placed the 6 over here. And you know, the 8 has been rolled, and of course I didn't win the bet, so and I took it down. Okay, in fact I don't remember it was down or, you know, was on the table, and whatever, I don't remember exactly. So the same shooter, you know, start with 2. Okay. That's why I make a sign here, you know, because this is start, you know, the most interesting part. So 2 was followed by Yo 11, and then Yo 11 again, back to back Yo 11, and again Yo 11. When I saw this, typically, you know, when you see on a common roll 3 Yos back to back, that means 7 has been compensated. So 11 took over, so there is no way 7 will show up in a common roll. So it would be safe to place a bet on a common roll. But I was revised all this. There is no indication 8 was, you know, a point he make it. And there is no other indication I can place a bet on the common roll. And, you know, I was disappointed. I said, well, okay, now I don't have a bet. I don't want to take any chances, especially, you know, when I was in the hole with $120. So the very first bet I was placing was a 10 late 10. I lost it. So over here I was lucky, you know, to get 2 late bets on the 8 and the 6, you know, make $200. But then, you know, I was the very first, you know, after that, I lost you know, another lay bet here on the 6th. So I said, well, you know, I have to be very careful. So, and I watch very careful the table. After, you know, Yo 11 3 times in a row, a 12 has been rolled. Okay, well, when I was looking at this, you know, I said, well, those 3 Yos back to back means, you know, took over on 7. So most of the people in this situation will think that way. But when I was looking into the 12, I said, no, I think this judgment will be wrong if I follow this. And typically this is a rule, it's always confirmed, you know, when one number it's rolling more than sister number, and that's the point, it's indication, you know, the shooter will not make his point. The same rule apply, you know, on 3 Yos back to back. So the, you know, the 7 has been compensated over here. and 12 has been rolled, and everybody was excited here because, you know, they lost a pass line, but they recover here and they make, on the 2 yos, and then 12 shows up, and they lost actually what they made. So they lost over here, they win here, they win here, they win here, but they lost something. So it's kind of balancing, but it was okay. I didn't place any pass line, so I didn't lose anything. I should not be excited like the other people. But I was thinking, hey, what would be the best bet, or what bet I should expect to place in this situation. And guys, you're not gonna believe what I did. I was hoping the 7. Hoping the 7 for $25 each. So I just threw 3 green chips, and I said hope 7. Actually I said hope red. And the dealer was looking in the same time when he took the money, and he punched the table with my chips, says hope 7, confirm. Okay, well, that's fine. And then of course, as you're expecting, 7 shows up. So I made this bet for $25. So it's paid, 15 to 1. It was, 250 plus 125. So it was $375 plus $25. I was, so $400 minus 50. So I made $350. If we extract, the $25, which was investment, was $325. All right. So if you look here, I was $200 ahead, and I said, oh, okay, well, that's a good thing. So the table is going into my way, and 12. Keep the the rule. So always, guys, when you see a 12, if you don't want to risk any money, just stay off for 2 rolls. That's a money saver for everybody. And watch this all the time when you play live on the table. So this rule, it's 95% confirmed. You might have once in a while a 12 followed by 2 box numbers, but that's an indication the shooter will make the point. So it's still 2 ways. If the 12 survive for 2 rolls, definitely have to put a place bet on the point, because you will win that. You will see the shooter will make his point. But when 12, the first or the second, it's followed by 7. Definitely, it's 95% of the time. So we continue, and the shooter makes a 3. Actually, I don't know what I made this X. So it was a 3, okay? And nothing special. I mean, 3 after 7, I was, I was the only one, winning, consistent on that, because, they win, they lost here, they win here, but they lost them, next roll. So it's kind of even for all those people around. I forgot to mention, it was 4 people at the table. It was the 5th one. My favorite place was on a hook. He was a Chinese guy, a black person, and 2 guys. It looked like they was together, but they was playing separate. So and they kind of was playing before I was show up. So anyway, and 10 was roll after this, and as a new point, 10 hard. All right. So if I considering here 8, because 8 has got 2 lines over here, and 6 was getting 2 lines. 8, it's followed by 7, so the 8 will become the new confirmed number, no lines. Okay, so it's going to be transferred bottom on the bottom here. It's not important anyway because we're not going to go all the way to the end of the session. So 10 is the point, and at this time, at this moment, I said, well, I don't know where this table's going. You know, I was estimating things. You know, I was lucky here. You know, the Hope 7, but you know, there is no indication the table goes into you know, my way, because I was thinking, you know, when I was winning this, I said, oh, okay, that's good. But then, you know, 3 shows up, and, you know, the 10 heart you know, rolled. And if you look at over here, there is no 10 rolled. This was the very first 10, even over here, wasn't rolled. And especially when the 10 heart is showing up as a long lost number, you have to be very careful. And I said, well, you know what? I'm not going to place any bet. Oh, okay, I'm going to just look to see what's going on. And 9 was rolled. And of course, you know, there is no indication, you know, or any place, but even over here, I supposed to just place, you know, the long lost returning, but, you know, there is no history, you know, to see, you know, what was the, you know, the last time was rolled, and what was the, you know, the before, you know, the 10 was rolled, because this is not a lost, you know, long lost number completely. It was like a 28 rolls or something, and I said, well, you know what, I'm gonna wait. And 7 was rolled after that, and the new shooter actually, you know, was my time, and I passed the, you know, I passed the dice to the Chinese guy, and he took you know, the dice. He rolled Yo 11, and I said, well, what I'm gonna do over here, I don't know. I mean, I didn't place any bet here. I was lucky, you know, to get Hope 7 for $25. Typically, you know, the Hope bet, you know, I'm not playing as high, but I was pressed by the situation. I said, well, you know, if I will make it, then I will make it. Otherwise, you know, doesn't make any difference. So I will be $200 in a hole. And, you know, I was lucky here. Typically, you know, you should not go that way. And hoping you will be lucky, because, you know, not always the luck is working, you know, in your favor. And, you know, the Chinese guys, you know, roll on Yo 11, and this, you know, right after the 11, he took the dice and throw the dice, but one of the die jump over, and give me some time to think. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Yo 11 has a chance, which typically we're looking for the box number. But when you look this situation here, 4 Yos, very close, especially back to back here, that's an indication, you know, Yo could become an OD. And we never explained that. I never explained that to you guys. So this also, you can have that situation, and you have to think that way. I missed that too, you know. All of a sudden, when the dice, you know, jump over the, you know, the fence, you know, I said, you know what? What if I will place a Yo 11 here, just a straight, and I threw a green chip on Yo 11, and then, you're not gonna believe this, Yo has been rolled, and everybody, they didn't, you know, quite, because, you know, they make, you know, a pass line here, and there was many pass line here, but, you know, over here, when I was placing the yaw, you win like a 15 to 1 and for 25. So plus $375, and the bet, you know, it's stale. Okay, well, you know, that's a good bet. I win $375, and I will place it here. So 320, so this is canceled. Those are canceled, those are canceled. So I made $575 up to here. And always I'm teaching my students, and I'm teaching you guys, when you meet your, you know, your goal, just take the money and leave. Take the money and leave, because you know, you don't know what's happened with the table after you make that that winning. To make the story short, you know, box number has started rolling, but I wasn't able, you know, for 12 rolls at a row to hit on any place bet or any lay bet I was thinking, you know, was wrong. It was like a point of 9, and 9 was oh, I forgot to write it down. 9 was over here was a red number. So I said, oh, okay, well, that's an indication I have to make a bet here, and I laid the 9. But then 8 has been rolled, and of course I moved my lane 9 to late 8. Yeah, and then 3 was rolled, and I said, well, okay, well, 3 and 8 was confirmed. 3 is indication also the 7 might follow, but 6 has been rolled. And I said, okay, I'm taking my lay bet down, and I will put it back into the, you know, the lane 9, because it's much safer. 8, you know, surprised me, and I said, well, it's much safer, you know, to lay the, you know, the point. And I was lucky because, you know, the next roll was 8. I was estimated that, and that's why it was moved, you know. And after that, 4 has been rolled, and I said, okay, I was lucky here, but I didn't hit any of those you know, lay bets. Why you're not placing a lay bet on the 6? Because this was 4 was a, you know, a red number. So this was rolled less. You see, you know, 8, 8, 9 over here, 9 over here. So it indicate, you know, they are rolled together very close. And I put, you know, the lane 6, move the lane 9 to lane 6, and 6 has been rolled, and I lost this bet for $120. So 575 winnings, you know, $120, you know, less. How stupid I might be. Okay, so that was the story over here. And then I said, okay, well, I'm missing something. So after the 7 was 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9, and the table was qualified for a bet, except, you know, I don't have a 9. Well, you know, we don't 7. It's actually 9. And I said, well, you know what? I try all those lay bets. I didn't hit that. Let me place a 6 and 8. You know, because probably, you know, for in one roll, maybe I'm getting lucky. And 4 hard has been rolled Okay, well, I supposed to go back to the lay bets. I don't know. I mean, you know, it was kind of, you know, confusion, and you know, I didn't hit, you know, 1, 2, 3. I lost one, and you know, I didn't hit anything here, and I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna taking those down, and you know, actually, I took the 8 down. I was keeping the 6 because it was, you know, one for me, one for you, and I placed the 4. So I was hoping, you know, to get one for me, one for you. As normal, this is my favorite bet, you know, bet and situation. And actually 9 was rolled. And, you know, of course, I didn't win anything. I took the bets down. After this, 9 was the knee point. And I said, oh, okay, well, that's a good indication. So to place a bet, I was considering, you know, a hot roll, and you know, this is 12 with no 7. This is a, you know, in few junk numbers. I said, well, you know what, I'm gonna play some. I don't want to lose a, you know, a hot roller. I'm gonna place 4 and 9. 9 because has been rolled twice, and 4 has been rolled twice, so within 5 rolls. I said, okay, well, that might be a good good place bet, and 8 was rolled. Guys, I couldn't, you know, hit anything. Of course, you know, I take him down, and I said, well, you know what, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna do any place bet until the, you know, the table qualified, and then, you know, was an Yo11. Of course, you know, I was thinking, hey, another Yo11. So, what's happened with this? But you know, there is no indication. After the Yo11, the 7 will show up, and you know, I said, well, you know what? I have officially I have to wait for a roll. Why don't you place a hop? You know, I will hop this, you know, the 7 again. Why not? You know, because you know, I was winning here after 12, you know, and Yo11, you know, it's indicator something will come up, and you know, it's kind of passing, you know, it's 12 rolls, you know, the effect of you know, of going over the 7 has been, you know, quite lost. And you know, this is a come on roll situation, but during the point, you know, you have to stay off for one roll, because you know, this is an indicator, you know, the 7 shows up. And I was placing a hop 7 for $25 each, and of course 7 shows up, and I made this again. So $325 was going into my rack. Okay, and from this point, I'm not going to hold you any longer. I just want to show you what was happened next, because you know, another indicator. I supposed to stop here, man. I supposed to leave, but you know, I was watching, you know, my clock. It says, "Oh, okay, I still got some time. Let's continue." You know, all right, okay. Well, the next point was 4, and let me update the records a little bit here. So 9 was here. 9 was a line. 8 was a line here. 6 was another line here. 8 was 2 lines. 4 was a line. 6 is no longer a red number. 4 followed by 9 has got 2 lines. 9 was followed by 9 and 9 by an 8. So this has been canceled too. 8 is getting another line here. And you know, over here, you know, there is no more red numbers. So, you know, I was thinking, hey, you know what? You know, might be a good opportunity for me. And 4 was 2 lines. I said, okay, I'm gonna place a lay bet on the 4. Everybody will do that who knows the method. Okay, but I was getting a 9. So doesn't make any sense over here. You know, everything goes in against me and against my method. So nothing was working. And then I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna place a place bet. I'm gonna take my lay bet down and I'm gonna place 8 and 9. 9 because was rolled 2 times over here, and the 8 I don't remember exactly, was rolled 1 time here and 1 time over here, but I missed this. I don't know. I mean, I made that mistake. I probably, you know, I don't remember, you know, what's happened, but I missed this. 8 was, you know, red number with 3 lines. So and the 4 has been rolled. So the shooter make his point on the 4, and you know, I didn't lose anything here. My bet was you know, and I was thinking, you know what? I'm gonna take. I will keep this up. I'm gonna take my 8 down, and I'm gonna put 4, because you know it's 4 9 4, which is, you know, 1 for me, 1 for you. So the second one, but the first one didn't work. You know, 4 6 4 4 9 4, and I said, well, you know, should be okay. I think. So to avoid any confusions, I will take both down and I will place it here. And the shooter threw out a 2. I said, well, what the heck is going on here? So the rule of 1 for me, 1 for you says, you know, you have to keep it for 2 rolls, and you know, 4 followed by 2. If you look into the you know, the recording sheet, 8 and 4 followed by 2, it's safe. This is what method says. Okay, and it's very simple. It's right here. It's right here. 8 and 4, you know, followed by 2, and you have the red, you know, record sheet. So you know, I said, wow, I'm safe. Keep up. But I was wrong. And 7 shows up, and I lost those 2 bets. Okay, when I lose those bets, this was a buy for $100. This was a you know, $120. So $220 lost. Okay. So a few more rolls and I'm done. Okay, well, actually this wasn't a come up roll, so 7, yeah, and then another 7 has been rolled. Okay, well, you don't need, and I'm not placing bets, you know, in this situation, so but I lost this. I was looking to see what's going on, and then 2 has been rolled. Nothing special, and 10 heart as a new point. Of course, you know, the very first, you know, indication, if you go all the way up here, so it's 24-25. Well, it's not quite, it's almost the same situation over here. And I said, well, probably, you know, it's not confirmed because it's required 30 rolls to become 10 and 4 become long lost. I said, well, I'm gonna lay the 10 anyway, because this is the only number I was thinking to place, and the 3 was rolled, and in this situation I said, well, you know what, I'm gonna take the lay bet 10 down, because if I was winning this, it was $200 on the risk for $100 winning, and I was thinking what other bet I can place going all the way back as a weak number. And this is 1, this is 2, this is 1, this is 2, this is 1, this is 2. I cannot place this. This is 1, this is 2, this is 1, this is 2. I cannot place the 4 because it was almost confirmed, and I placed the 6, the lay 6. And guess what, guys? 6 has been rolled. I don't know what I did wrong, but at least I was saving $80 because of course 6 will not make the the lay bet 10 to lose, but that was my consideration. Okay, so I lost that, and then I was, of course I lost it, and was rolled 7, and then another 7, back-to-back 7. I will close here the video. To make the story short, I was continue after that, and I was winning 2, 3 bets, 4 bets, 5 bets, lost another 5, and kind of I kind of remain with this winning, but look at here, I made this money. I supposed to stop right here, and I continue. So this is 575, 950, 1275 here, 1275, and losses 220, 340, 460, 460, 5, 1, $800, from 1275. And of course, more or less, I was down from $800 with 150. So actually, my winnings on last night was 600 and some change. I didn't write it down, but this is what's happened, and this is a very interesting situation. When you have the money in your hand, put it in a pocket and leave. So don't spend any more time for a table which was quite choppy, And I was lucky, to get hope 7 here. I was lucky, to get hope 7 here, and the Yo 11 I was placed. I don't remember where. Over here. I didn't mark it on the red, so that's why I was not able to find really quick. But I made that mistake. I learned from my mistakes, and you have to learn as well. So pretty much this is what's happened, and that's the reason I'm revising the session on myself live on the table, just to show you what you can get and what will be the best way to go. So probably you're not going to do this as I'm doing, but you probably you stay away from trouble. And when you see so many bets lost, so you have to stop. Of course, I left first from, and nobody joins to the table, but I learned my lesson. So guys, pay attention what you're doing. You know, when you have the money in your hand, put it in a pocket and leave. Do not continue crazy and you know, believe, oh, I'm the best in the world, so I know the meta, I deserve to win, because you know the this game is gonna catch you from behind, and you know, it's gonna make you to lose whatever you made. You know, I was lucky. You know, I didn't lost everything, but you know, if you consider, you know, from 1275, 600 and some change, you know, I lost half of my winnings just because I was continuous sitting on the table. And you know, pretty much this is, you know, the record. So I'm not lying to you guys. You know, this is what's happened. This was rolled last night live. You see how many rolls. Typically, you know, I'm staying just a half, but this what's happened last night. So learn a lesson, pay attention, apply the rule correctly, and you will become a winner. Any questions, concern, if you want to get the method, the basic method, email it to me, bonecrusher@bonecrusher.com, and you know, start practicing, because this is the only way to get into this deeply method, who might save you money and make some money as well. So remember, we always right, occasionally wrong, but never in doubt. We will see you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching, and keep on watching.